Hello, everyone. You are watching one more video interview from our series of video interviews for WellBE training. Today with me, here I have opportunity to welcome Katarina Bjelovic, and she is the, I think, great choice for this kind of interview. And I would not give any more words for introduction. I will just say, welcome, Katarina, and please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you so much for having me today. Again, my name is Katarina. I'm a business psychologist by profession, and I have a variety of experience in HR business partnering, mainly in IT industry. But as of recently, I started doing HR from a consultant role, so I can say that starting to have more opportunities to work with other industries as well. Main focus in my career so far was mainly on people development through individual team coaching, soft skill trainings, different types of workshops, and so on and so on. I remember when we were talking about this project, and one of the questions was, what metaphor would I give? And I would say that it's shape-shifting. And shape-shifting is sometimes connected or linked to something negative, right? To being, I don't know, two-faced or manipulative, or like something like that. But I don't look at it from that perspective. I try to look at it from a much more positive point of view. And I'd say that everyone in a role of someone who is helping other people develop and grow, so all coaches, trainers, educators, have to understand that process of change is actually the change of a shape of someone or something. We also have to change our shape in order to get close enough to people that we're working with, and in order to help them create a sustainable change.
The part of the name of our project is WellBE. And I said it's like introducing coaching skills in trainers and facilitators' work, but it's also taking care and taking care of our well-being. So that shape shifting is kind in my head like adapting to change and adapting to environment, which is constantly changing today. So my next question for you would be, if when you hear the word well-being, what do you think of?
From my perspective, it's knowing your shape, knowing your current shape, being aware of how you're feeling currently, physically and mentally, on both levels, so to say. Having accountability to continuously work on adapting that shape in order for you to feel better and more adapted into the circumstances, into the world, into everything that surrounds you.
It sounds really interesting when we think of that you are also a PCC coach, and when we try to connect that like of shape shifting and being aware of our own shape and our well-being to coaching, how would you connect the coaching practice with what we were talking about until now?
I would say that coaching helps in raising awareness of our current state, right, at the moment. And it helps us understand better what are we feeling, why are we feeling like that, and what we can do to get better and to feel even better. So if we're already facing some situations or circumstances that are challenging us at the moment, coaching helps us understand how to overcome them. And if our quality of life is already of high level, and if we're not currently facing some obstacles and situations that are challenging us, coaching helps us raise awareness of how to prevent those things happening in the future, and how to continuously work on the overall well-being in our life.
You mentioned the word challenges. And when we think of our audience for this project, those are trainers, adult educators, facilitators. What do you think main challenges in current situation in today's world are for them?
I think the main difference right now is actually the hybrid work, or let's call it like that, or remote work. I myself, I'm a remote worker, so most of the workshops that I deliver, most of the individual and team coaching that I deliver is done through Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, or whatever. And it's in a way, it helps you because it can speed up certain parts of the process, and it can be useful in certain situations. But overall, it just implies a much bigger preparation and much bigger flexibility on the side of the trainer and the side of the coach, because you're dealing with a shorter attention span, and not because people don't care about your topic, but because the world works like that right now. Apart from that, you're dealing also with lack of non-verbal communication, not being able to see the complete picture of someone, not being able to see if somebody's having a restless leg syndrome, and or if to estimate their the intensity of their non-verbal, etc., etc. So I'd pick that definitely as one of the main challenges for trainers right now. But I also think that it's a very it's a topic that we are very conscious about, and that is really good. And people are also conscious about that. And there is, or at least from my perspective, I feel that there is a rise in awareness that despite having a lot of positive benefits from the whole process, there are difficulties, and participants are also taking this responsibility and accountability to communicate this to trainers. I'd like to have a break. I need 5 more minutes for this exercise, and so on and so on. So I think it's really beautiful that we're all trying to tackle this challenge from each side.
Yeah, I can say, as also remote worker for a while, I feel all of those challenges, but you mentioned also like pros and cons of remote facilitation, and you kind of answered to my next question, which would be, what would be the skills needed for overcoming those challenges? But maybe then to add up one more layer, you mentioned flexibility and adaptability regarding that remote facilitation, but then also the question would be if you can remember some other skills and how coaching can help in overcoming those challenges.
There are a lot of parallels that we can draw between coaching skills and training facilitation skills. And one would, the first one that comes to my mind is goal setting. Despite coaching and training as skills being different, they do have a common thing, which is purpose of the process, right? We have to set the purpose for the process. Also, it doesn't matter if the workshop, training, or coaching is on individual or team level. Active listening, following verbal and non-verbal cues is of utmost importance. Partnering as well. Partnering maybe as one of the main techniques that one can use to overcome any challenge that can happen during the workshop. Also, facilitative leadership comes to my mind. It's not really 100% coaching skill, so to say, but it's definitely an area of training skills and education skills, leadership skills that helps partly with coaching and partly with managing workshops, managing trainings, and so on.
Is there maybe some example from your personal experience how coaching, introducing and embedding coaching in your trainers, facilitators' work helped maybe?
Once upon a time, I worked for a company that was undergoing a very huge change. They were changing their portfolio, they were changing the business model overall, which led to the change in the org design and org structure. And that was really heavy for all the employees because it was they were functioning 30 years in one way, and all of a sudden they're changing into something completely different. And most of the employees have been working for the company for over 20 years. So it was a huge challenge to tackle that. So we decided to do a couple of different interventions. One was individual coaching for people who declared or who asked for help and support on individual level. Then we decided to create 2 or 3 group coaching groups. And we decided to create a series of soft skill trainings to support the transition from one operating way to another. We wanted to create a systemic change, and we understood that we have to on a couple of different levels in order to make the change sustainable. So we were doing individual, group coaching, and soft skill trainings. And each of these levels was based on coaching skills. So even soft skill trainings were based on partnering, not defining the goal in the beginning on the side of the stakeholder or on the side of the HR, but we decided to actually partner on the goal with employees that were undergoing the training, because they were the ones who knew the best what they were lacking right now in order to achieve the business goals that are necessary to achieve in a year with a new business model. And that's where coaching actually played a huge role, because if we decided to partner on the goal of soft skill trainings with employees who were participating, then we had to have trainers who are flexible enough, adaptable enough, and skilled enough to handle any situation that can arise in this type of training.
Yeah, so that sounds like a great example, and I hear also importance of the competence called presence, being present, to tailor-made, to adapt to that individual needs of your participants. So thank you for great example, and for maybe wrapping up and end of our conversation, I would ask you a sentence for trainers, facilitators who want to embed coaching approach into their work.
Disclaimer, this is not a commercial. It's not a commercial, but definitely Coaching Center's ICCD course. It provides a high level and a deep dive as well to coaching competencies. It embeds coaching competencies in your mindset, which is really important, whether you want to continue doing coaching, just coaching, or you want to upskill yourself to be a better trainer, better leader, mentor. It's the most valuable set of skills you can gain to help you structure the new knowledge that you got, which is always challenging, but also to structure the previously acquired knowledge, things that you already know and that you're already using, but you don't know their names, you don't know why you may use them. So yeah, definitely that.
So thank you, Katarina, for participating in this interview, and I hope we are going to see you even more during this project or in some next interviews. Thank you very much.